afternoon, everybody, and happy summer solstice, at least for the northern hemisphere. Anyways, this is sort of a cooking stream, but not really, because I'm not actually going to be cooking anything. But I am going to be reviewing the things that I eat, because it's basically just a microwave and reheating kind of situation. Because the other day at the store, I found... Hi, Fred. You can come in here. I found one of these Uncle Ben's street food little meal sides, whatever you call it, self-contained chicken and rice. I've been seeing the commercials for these for probably 2 years, maybe even longer than 2 years, I don't know, and I can never find them in the store. It's like, I go to the rice aisle, they're not there. I'll go to like the hamburger helper section, it's not there. I'll go to ethnic food, whatever. I've checked all the aisles and it was never there. And they finally had it to yesterday, whatever day I went to the store this week, I don't even remember. But they finally had this at Meijer on an end cap, like as a special, and I was like, oh, I'm finally gonna try that. And I saw one that was Jamaican, and I had to critique that, because if you don't know, that was my career for many, many years. My husband and I ran a Jamaican food truck, and he taught me to cook Jamaican. He learned Jamaican himself from actual Jamaicans. So I'm going to be quite critical on this, just because I used to make this for a living. So let's see how it tastes. And I was looking at the back, and of course it just says spices. See, they list garlic powder, they list onion powder. Yeah, and then everything else just falls under spices. So my question to myself looking at this is, did they fuck up and add cinnamon? Because I don't know what the deal is. Like, whenever I've been to Jamaica and had jerk chicken, nobody ever put cinnamon in it. But you get these cookbooks that are written by Jamaicans allegedly, but they're marketed for cooks here in America. They'll tell you to add cinnamon to jerk chicken, and that's just not proper jerk chicken. Cinnamon is more of a baked good spice in Jamaica. But I'm quite hungry, and this is not really going to do it for today. So I've got 11 more minutes in the oven, but I got a box of 2 of these spicy beef patties from Golden Crust. And the only reason I knew Golden Crust was because they were on an episode of Undercover Boss once, many years ago. And I remember the people themselves are Jamaican. They're not the originators of the beef patty, because that was Juki Chin, obviously. And then, he opened, Juicy Patty. They were the first ones. And then Tasty Patty is the close second. It's kind of like a McDonald's Burger King rivalry in Jamaica. I've never tried these, and the reason I got the spicy instead of mild is because the kind we used to get from Sam's Club they're just one variety, but it was labeled spicy. So I figure, I don't think it's going to be too spicy for me. They're marketing it for Americans, not Jamaicans. I'm going to put this back in the freezer before it thaws or something. And then this thing only takes 90 seconds in the microwave, allegedly, so that'll be done at the end there. But this is what it looks like out of the package. Out of the package, it's like any other microwavable thing. I'm just really trying hard not to waste summer right now, and it's nice that I've been outside today. I need something to drink, hold on. They're on average than here, so. I wish I could play some music on here, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. I have friends who are dealing with enough bullshit from those already. Got 6 minutes on the beef patty. beef patties are one of those things for me that I think it kind of separates who's been to Jamaica and who hasn't. Because if you just talk about beef patties with no other context to someone who's never been there, they're just thinking of like, what, a hamburger patty without a bun? Like, what? No, it's like spiced sort of, I don't want to say like thin ground, but yeah, almost like a pureed beef mixed with like some curry type spices, and then it's put into like a nice flaky pastry pocket, and yeah, it's like the most popular lunch for people in Jamaica. I forget which town I was in, but they had like, it wasn't a push cart, it was like a girl on like a pedal cart, most kind of like a bike with like hot box on the back of it, and just going through town selling juicy patty for like $1 a piece. But yeah, those are really popular there. Actually, let's go ahead and put this in the microwave now because it's going to take a minute to cool down before I can eat it. 90 seconds. It does say to peel back corner of film, so. It does not want to come out. There we go. It is not very appetizing when you first look at it before you. Alright, well, let's put it in the microwave and give this thing a go. Something else worth mentioning maybe is the beef patty's heating instructions had to preheat the oven to 340 instead of 350. I don't think I've ever seen that before where it specified 340. I'm having a good day so far. I'm happy that it's summer, but at the same time the fact that June rushed by so fast is just kind of making me feel like I'm getting old. Is this the point in my life where birthdays start to make me cringe every year? I hope not. I hope I can still enjoy my birthday. It's like Alan always used to say, if you can't celebrate you, why would you expect anyone else to celebrate you? In other words, like if it's your birthday, you should try to do something special for yourself. Like, even if it's just something small, whatever's within your means. Just to appreciate the fact that, you know, you're you and you're going to treat yourself now and again. So that's how I see it. Okay, all I can say about this is, okay, there is sort of a jerk, that like allspice smell that should hit you first, like that mix of allspice and Scotch bonnet peppers. There's just a weird background smell that I can't explain that has just sort of pervaded my kitchen now. I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical because, like I said, I used to do this for a living. You know that, but for anybody else watching, or anybody watching this on YouTube later, yeah, like this right here, like jerk chicken and peas and rice, that was like my specialty. That was what I cooked like every day for our food truck, you know, with festival bread, fried plantains, and then sometimes we alternated other things, like we had our own Jamaican jerk sausages made that were just like a pork bratwurst but with jerk flavoring. We would do barbecue pulled pork once in a while. It was really popular. But yeah, this is going to be interesting comparing Uncle Ben's to what I used to make for so many years. I miss that. I couldn't do it now, even if Alan was here, but I miss that. now that, okay, you can see me on camera. Well, now that I've pulled back the film, I can absolutely 100% tell you that they did put cinnamon in here. So, it's not, I don't hate cinnamon. I just don't think it belongs in jerk chicken, but for some reason, especially with like Americans doing jerk chicken, they always seem to do that. This, I'm not going to show this. This sucker has like retained its shape in here. So I'm going to stir it up. Oh, the beef patty is about to come out of the oven too, so. 10 seconds early, we can take it out 10 seconds early, it's not gonna matter. Alright, this is what we got for the beef patty. I can never aim that camera. I can show you this a little bit better now. It's just like perfectly formed, right? Oh, you know what this reminds me of? Kitchen Nightmares. The lady who had the Jamaican restaurant, who I've actually weirdly met on the airplane one time. It was so freaky. But no, that lady, Dr. Morris, she had that restaurant, and they had the jerk chicken and the peas and rice together, and the peas and rice were in that perfectly molded little formation on the plate, and it was just, and Gordon thought it was super weird. Yeah. I don't think she has any restaurants anymore. But I did meet her on an airplane once. I am not convinced this stuff is even done, because... Okay, yeah. That's why I said allegedly when it said 90 seconds, because I'm thinking, I don't think it's going to be done, but at least I want to break apart some of this rice, because it's just bound together. Yeah, cinnamon hits you before anything else. That's a shame. That is not Jamaican jerk. You know what? We're gonna finish in the microwave with a little smidge of water because those beans were so dry, and honestly so was the rice. 30 seconds should do the trick. Got the beef patty here. Now, just for quick reference, when you have jerk chicken and or the beans and rice that go with it, the spices that you should taste are allspice and the Scotch bonnet / habanero. They're basically the same pepper. And like green onion or some kind of onion puree. Like those are the main ingredients. And then everybody makes it a little bit differently, but most Jamaicans would not add cinnamon. That's just, I don't know. Twas an odd choice, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm glad I added a little bit of water to this. It didn't say to, but like it needed it. Now it looks like an actual rice product. Yeah, there's so much cinnamon in this that it's honestly making me think of like something apple cinnamon flavor. That is not the flavor profile that you want. I mean, it's not disgusting. I can definitely eat this. I mean, for a microwavable thing especially, it's not bad. The beans are slightly on the crunchy side, but it seems like beans vary. I don't know, because I would occasionally get crunchy beans too, and it's like, I don't know how they cooked for freaking 3 hours. Yeah. Eventually, we went to the canned red beans because people liked it better. And if they like it better and it saves time for us, then hell yeah, we're going to do it. It was kind of like the beef patties. Like, we were never going to serve them on our truck because it wasn't something that we could actually make ourselves. But the first couple of years doing business, so many people just begged us to serve beef patties, and it's just like, okay, they're going to be the ones that you get from Sam's Club or whatever, and they're like, we don't care. It's like, okay. So, yeah. The other spices are there. Like, they didn't fuck up everything, but it's like the cinnamon hits you so strongly first, and then you're kind of eating it and you kind of have to search for like the sort of pimento allspice Scotch bonnet flavor. They use onion powder in the rice, which is onion and garlic powder and thyme, which that's all like correct for what you would normally find in traditional peas and rice. Personally, for me, the way I would have done it, it would have basically been like this, but no cinnamon, and it would have been cooked in coconut milk. Because the rice really should have that sort of coconut flavor, but it's not bad. It's just, to me, it's kind of a misguided attempt at jerk chicken. Okay, that part, the bits of chicken that are in here are kind of disappointing. It's kind of like what you would get from like a Campbell's chicken noodle soup, but drier. But that's basically all the flavor it had. Like, the chicken should have more spice than the rice itself. The rice should be there to kind of help absorb the spice. That's part of the whole deal. Because typically, yes, Jamaicans can eat spicy food compared to most of us, but they'll also have something as part of their meal that's not spicy, or that kind of like takes the spice away, like, you know, the festival bread will do that nicely. It's like southern U.S. barbecue when they just randomly serve it on like a couple pieces of Texas toast. That's what those are for. That's like, so you can absorb the spice from your mouth, or you know what I'm trying to say. It takes the spice out of your mouth when you eat the bread, and then like, yeah, you can enjoy it without getting killed by the heat. I think the beef patty has had enough time out of the oven. I've never had Golden Crust. I've had Juicy Patty and Tasty Patty, and I've had the ones that they served at Sam's Club, which were like Caribbean Kitchen brand, I think. So, there goes. Okay, they got it right. They definitely got. If you see Golden Crust in your store in the frozen section, give them a try, because this, I mean, like between Juicy Patty and Tasty Patty, to me it's basically like they're both really good, so I don't really care. But like for either one of those, they got it spot on. The way like you get that scent of the spices and the beef as soon as you bite into it, and you've got that like pastry. I don't know what if the pastry's just colored with turmeric or what, but I don't know. It's always been yellow and flaky like this, so this is spot on for what you get at the original beef patty establishments. Yeah, this is really good. If I'm gonna give Juicy Patty and Tasty Patty a 10 out of 10, I'm also gonna give this a 10 out of 10. This makes me happy I have another one of these if I want one later. But yeah, like one of these and a piece of fruit or something would be like a really common snack, afternoon snack for somebody in Jamaica. I feel like this might be a cozier video to make if I had like the noise of random TV show in the background or something. But I'm still not 100% if I can get copyright strike for that. So I don't know. I think the rule is like if they put it on YouTube for free, then it's fair game. So like if I was watching the Angry Video Game Nerd or something and commenting or whatever, or just watching it to watch it, like that would be okay. But you know, if not streaming a movie that's like pay-per-view on YouTube or something. Ooh. This is clearing out my sinuses, which is what I needed today. It's not too spicy, but it is spicy. But it's one of those where like the spice kind of builds as you eat it, and you notice it in the back of your mouth more. That was so good. Okay, yeah, Golden Crust beef patties are legit. Like, I think I saw them on Undercover Boss. It was like 8-9 years ago. I think it was, I don't know. God, it might have even been before we had the food truck. So they've been around a long time. So that I can see why they've been around as long as they have been. I don't know if I'm going to finish the rice or not, but I'm hungry, so I'm going to keep eating it for right now. It's just disappointing that the cinnamon is so strong in this. And I specifically looked on the back of the container before I bought it, because I'm thinking to myself in the store, like, you know what? I bet they put cinnamon in this because, like, people just don't know. And then when you look at just the spices, they got one thing right though. This actually has kidney beans. You can, yeah, instead of the little red beans. So if you serve this rice in Jamaica, you would actually call it red beans and rice and not red peas and rice, because the red peas are the little red beans. In Jamaica, if you say red pea, you get that. If you say red bean, you get kidney bean. Just things I've learned from being there. Because I thought about doing, you know, just like for a sort of little summer solstice celebration here at home by myself, I thought of doing like jerk chicken on my grill outside, but I don't even think the grill outside works anymore. If I remember last time, it had an issue with the burner, and it wasn't because it was out of gas, it was just like the burners weren't going, so I don't know. It's been a couple of years since I've used that grill. It's basically still there to keep cold leftovers in the winter. Ooh. Yeah, that beef patty was spicy, but very delicious. I hear Fred somewhere in the house. Oh, there you are. There you are, behind the coffee table. Yeah, I'm glad we had our exercise time this morning. Like, the grass was still wet when I took him out this morning. It's like, that's fine, because it's going to be way too hot for him to want to go out and play later on today. Yeah, I basically finished it, but yeah, I had a lot care to eat of that, so. Yeah, Uncle Ben's rice, I honestly, if that did not have the cinnamon, I would rate that as at least average. I mean, it wasn't, as far as like quality of ingredients, it didn't stick out as bad or low quality. It was just like, number one, the use of cinnamon and the fact that it was so much cinnamon. Like I said, as soon as I pulled the film back from the microwave, all I smelled was cinnamon, and it just was like, whoa. And then there was this weird after smell that I still can't quite explain. It's almost like oh, it was sort of like the smell of like oatmeal cooking, like if you have oatmeal in the microwave. But then it was also kind of like that smell of dust burning off the radiator for like the first time the heat comes on in late fall or whenever. I was like, if you melded those two smells together, that was just kind of in the background of the cinnamon smell just pervading the kitchen, and I'm like, I don't like this. Hi, Freddie. Hi. You want to say hi? Say hi, Fred. Hi. Yes. Yes, you're adorable. You're adorable. You don't like the tripod, do you? He doesn't. If I move this tripod around, like, I don't know if he thinks I'm brandishing a weapon or what. Like, he's fine with it sitting on the table, but as soon as Hey, Freddie. You say hi? Yes. I love this stuff. They're not sponsoring me because obviously I'm not monetized anywhere, but I would definitely let Palm Wonderful sponsor me. One of the places I stayed on one of my vacations in Florida, it was somebody's apartment they were renting out, kind of like an Airbnb, but it was just like himself renting it out. And he had a like Palm Wonderful poster that I guess was originally taken from a Subway somewhere, and he had it in his. I was like, that's freaking cool. I love Palm. You happy you got to play outside earlier, huh? Because yeah, he's panting in the house now. I may have to crank up the AC more than usual today. I usually have it set at like 76 or 77 Fahrenheit, but then on days like today I'll probably have to kick it down just to keep the house comfortable. And there's a big discrepancy with the thermostat's thermometer versus like any other thermometer in the house that'll tell you it's like 4 to 5 degrees warmer. So like the thermostat registers colder than it actually is. Things of owning a home. Well, I'm going to go and maybe get ready for a gaming stream later, because it's going to become too hot to really do anything outside for any real duration of time. Although I should probably... I'll do a few minutes of yard work before the heat makes me want to collapse. So in the meantime, happy summer solstice to everybody in the Northern Hemisphere. And I hope you're having a good one. Stay safe and have positive vibes.